Hey, Bo here. Today I'm going to make a page to paint, actually watercolor. This is a mixed media book that is not ideal for watercoloring, but it's good to practice on instead of using up all the watercolor paper. So what I'm going to do is just make some mountains, multiple layer of mountains, and then I'm going to Zentangle each one with some sort of a design, and then I'll paint it. So it's just fun, relaxing things to do. So here's our first mountain. They can be as big or as little as you want. Now, so each section here is going to have a different pattern. I like to keep the peaks showing instead of just drawing a line straight off, and it just adds more dimension. Now, what I like to refer to is the Joy of Zentangle. It's a book that has all these patterns in it, and I love the variety. And I like to refer to it because a lot of times there will be patterns that I have forgotten about. And so I keep the bookmark right here at the directory. And then I'll just randomly choose from this and make a pattern for each mountain. And of course, I'm starting with one I'm not even looking at, but you could, any design you want, you can do. All right, we got one mountain done. And let me just add a little bit more to this so it's a little bit less plain. I love these because no two are the same. Okay, I think we'll stop with that mountain there. kind of want to make some even grid here, and then we're going to connect the dots, literally. And visually, I'm just trying to make it so that their square can be made, and I think kind of one can be made there. And then this is a cute pattern. See if it has a name as I look at it. It's called the Cadent, and it's on page 51 of this Zentangle book. All right, so we'll just add the dots, kind of with a curve. And we'll do the same little curve down. Kind of like backward S is this way. So let's and the nice thing about this is you can just stop and start it as you want. Do a few mountains, put your pen down, and come back for more. And you'll see it doesn't look like much at first, and then it creates its own little design. There we go. And that'll be very pretty. That'll be very pretty when we go to paint this. Let's see, what other design do we have here? These are always fun. Let's do, and we're just gonna create some triangles here. And then within these triangles, we'll just create some lines from a point. Like this, let's see, yeah, let's do this. And these lines you can put out as close together, far apart, do whatever you want to do. And if you don't like it, it's not a big deal. If nothing else, you learned what you don't like. So let's try actually, you know what? I'm going to look back. Let's look back. I did this once before here. And I'm not sure where I did it. But I'm going to go ahead for now. I think I'll just use this pattern. I don't have to necessarily go back to that one mountain scene that I did. And I usually do about 3 this way, 3 that way, 3 this way, and then go straight down and then continue from there. Now let's try different size variations of curlies. like to start with big ones and then just fill in after that. It's like little metal wires just kind of all in place. There we go, got one last one. Now another fun one to do is to have like rocks that would be here with little plants kind of growing out of them. And once I'm done, you'll see what I mean. But these are all going to be just various size marbles, rocks. As if they've just accumulated here at the bottom of this mountain. Big, little. And again, if you put big ones in here, then you can just fill in the little rocks. And then I want it a little more full. A little more. Not bad. Let's kind of let some accumulate up in the edge here. And then we'll add some very simple little plants. Let's get a little bit more variation here as far as the flow of these rocks. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to get a finer. Let's see if the 5 will do. I may go even smaller. And then what I do is just kind of little sprouts coming out. Some tall. I'll have a few that'll grow up to there. There we go. Okay, I found the mountains that I did in this book, and I rather like these simple designs with the lines up and straight, so let's do that one. The simplicity of this and the freedom of doing what you want is so fun. You could do this on watercolor paper, and you could make a card out of it for people who love the mountains. You could do a host of things with this, but mostly you're doing it for yourself. I like this. This kind of incorporates in that. I like the little trees. Let's do the trees. So let's do that on like this one here. And that's what's good about keeping all of these to remember. I make these and I can't remember the designs I used. And so this book has a lot of things in it that maybe didn't work for me, but it has a lot of things that I want to repeat and incorporate again in some other work. So it's your templates, so to speak, like referring back to that mountain page. I think let's just do a variation of patterns. Now when you watercolor, I just do each mountain a solid color. It's not like watercolor paper where you can work a lot with it. You pretty much paint it and leave it, because if it's not watercolor paper, you can't, it'll start pilling, and this page will wrinkle up a bit and then it'll straighten flatter. It will not be totally flat like watercolor paper will go to, but it's good enough. It's good enough to stay in here because these are all watercolor and they're pretty flat. All right, so let's get our watercolor and get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just use one brush and just kind of pick a mountain. And I am going to start at the top so I can put my hand, not get my paint all over my arm like I did the ink. And I personally, I kind of like the not perfect look. Not too sloppy, but not too perfect. So if I see brush strokes or open spots, I don't really mind. This will all lighten up as well. This would be good journal paging too. And I do like to make a habit of distributing a color on a page about 3 times and then somewhat evenly. About now, I'm trying not to get my arm in this, but like here's 2 mountains of that color. And then let's see. Oh, I just love turquoise. I can't get enough of it. If I had this on water paper, I could probably intricately design like each triangle. I don't think I want to do that though, because this paper is going to handle the color, and then I kind of need to leave it alone and not get on much more. Now I'm going to go down here. Try not to get my arm in it later, but let's have a couple turquoise at least. I love turquoise in that color. And then let it dry, and then I'll come back to it, add a little bit more color, possibly. All right, I'm just gonna leave that, let it go. I love just adding bits of turquoise and just letting it absorb into the paper and see what it does. So now we're gonna switch colors again. Let's do, this is kind of a different, and a little, quite similar, isn't it? Let's see if I can correct this before. Let's go to here, pick that up and try to change it a little bit more from awfully close to turquoise. So we make it just different enough, it'll be nice. All right, let's put a little bit more on the top. This was a good watercolor. Let's put that here and distribute it. You know, I went over a little here, so let's just pretend like I meant to. There, kind of did a little snow cap. All right, let's do a little bit more of that color. Let's make this mountain this. Very, very bright. I use this brush a lot, and I think the more I use it, the more I understand what I can and can't do with it. And that could be to your benefit too. I do make mistakes like I did on this mountain here, but you learn what your brush does and doesn't do, how much flexibility, and you can get a little bit more intricate with it. And the more I know this brush, the more I could use it in corners, big splotches. I don't have to switch brushes is basically what I'm trying to say. All right, so 2 orange. Let's go bright green. Let's go this. I have a Kermit green. Not sure I really want to do that, but let's. So this project, it doesn't take long. And if you don't have a spot in your house to keep your stuff set up, put it in a little case, pull it out. And there you go. You'll be good to go. Let's try. Let's try this. I always go for, let's go a little darker here. Or mix. We could mix. I'm gravitating to turquoise again. I don't mind mixing my colors. I don't want these too far off their main color, but they create new colors when you mix them, and I'm not too picky about that. And these paints I got off Amazon, and they are lasting. I don't think any, I probably use this yellow the most, and it's just barely showing a little bit of going down. All right, lots of different colors. I don't have a lot. I think I'm going to go for like a brown. I really don't have a lot of brown. I mean, not dark brown anyway. Let's see what I could get here. This looks like sand, like a dark sandy brown. And I think I'll finish off with the same color on the last mountain. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Just use your simple supplies and give this a try. So I'm going to let this dry, and it might dry just a little lighter, but it's going to be beautiful. I'm happy with it. It was relaxing. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe. Pop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Have a good one.